Welcome to the show, where every flower tells a story. Watch them grow. Hello, hello, plant, in every shade and hue. For every heart and every hand, we've got something for you. Indoor greens and outdoor scenes, design your space, let your garden dreams glide. Personal touch with our garden design, free sessions to blend within your budget line. From tiny seeds to trees so grand, every leaf and bird, it's all at hand. Hello, hello, plant, welcome to the show, where every flower tells a story. Watch them grow. Hello, hello, plant, in every shade and hue. For every heart and every hand, we've got something for you. Now everybody, let's say hello, hello. Hello, hello. Hello, hello. Hello, hello. Hello, hello, plant, welcome to the show, where every flower tells a story. Watch them grow. Hello, hello, plant, in every shade and hue. For every heart and every hand, we've got something for you, just for you. In the morning sun, where the flowers bloom, colors burst like a painter's dream come true. Roses red and violets blue, every petal whispers something new. From tiny seeds to trees so grand, every leaf and bird, it's all at hand. Hello, hello, plant, welcome to the show, where every flower tells a story. Watch them grow. Hello, hello, plant, in every shade and hue. For every heart and every hand, we've got something for you. Indoor greens and outdoor scenes, design your space, let your garden dreams glide. Personal touch with our garden design, free sessions to blend within your budget line. From tiny seeds to trees so grand, every leaf and bird, it's all at hand. Hello, hello, plant, welcome to the show, where every flower tells a story. Watch them grow. Hello, hello, plant, in every shade and hue. For every heart and every hand, we've got something for you. Now everybody, let's say hello, hello. Hello, hello. Hello, hello. Hello, hello. Hello, hello, plant, welcome to the show, where every flower tells a story. Watch them grow. Hello, hello, plant, in every shade and hue. For every heart and every hand, we've got something for you, just for you. In the morning sun where the flowers bloom, colors burst like a painter's dream come true. Roses red and violets blue, every petal whispers something new. From tiny seeds to trees so grand, every leaf and bird, it's all at hand. Hello, hello plant, welcome to the show, where every flower tells a story. Watch them grow. Hello, hello plant, in every shade and hue, for every heart and every hand, we've got something for you. Indoor greens and outdoor scenes, design your space, let your garden dreams glide. Personal touch with our garden design, free sessions to blend within your budget line. From tiny seeds to trees so grand, every leaf and bird, it's all at hand. Hello, hello plant, welcome to the show, where every flower tells a story. Watch them grow. Hello, hello plant, in every shade and hue, for every heart and every hand, we've got something for you. Now everybody, let's say hello, 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 hello. Hello, hello plant, welcome to the show, where every flower tells a story. Watch them grow. Hello, hello plant, and every shade and hue, for every heart and every hand, we've got something for you, just for you. In the morning sun where the flowers bloom, colors burst like a painter's dream come true. Roses red and violets blue, every petal whispers something new. From tiny seeds to trees so grand, every leaf and bird, it's all at hand. Hello, hello plant, welcome to the show, where every flower tells a story. Watch them grow. Hello, hello plant, in every shade and hue, for every heart and every hand, we've got something for you. Indoor greens and outdoor scenes, design your space, let your garden dreams glide. Personal touch with our garden design, free sessions to blend within your budget line. From tiny seeds to trees so grand, every leaf and bird, it's all at hand. Hello, hello plant, welcome to the show, where every flower tells a story. Watch them grow. Hello, hello plant, in every shade and hue, for every heart and every hand, we've got something for you. Now everybody, let's say hello, 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 hello. In the morning sun where the flowers bloom, colors burst like a painter's dream come true. Roses red and violets blue, every petal whispers something new. From tiny seeds to trees so grand, every leaf and bird, it's all at hand. Hello, hello plant, welcome to the show, where every flower tells a story. Watch them grow. Hello, hello plant.
Oh, hello. Welcome to our Grower Direct flash sale, and this is the weeping cherries are on me flash sale. And what it is, if you were to spend over we've got 100 specials coming up. Anybody could put their garden together with what we've got arranged. We've got 100 specials coming up, and if you were to spend $300, we're going to give you a $100 weeping cherry. We've got any of those $100 weeping cherries handy. We're going to give you a beautiful $100 weeping cherry. Now you can get a white one, you can get a pink one, you can get a tall one or a medium-sized one. So the choice, this one here, this is a pink one, and it's a medium-sized one. And look at a lovely big head on it, really beautiful top-quality weeping cherry. And we've got these to give away. We've got tall ones, we've got short ones, we've got pink ones, we've got white ones. They're worth $100 each. And what it is, it can be a bit cold, in the cold months, it could be a bit quiet in the nursery. People don't go in the garden, they don't come down the nursery that much. So what we're doing to keep us busy during the quiet time, what we're doing is, and I don't care if I've got vans to keep on the road, I've got staff to pay, I don't care if I give away quite a few $1,000s worth of these weeping cherries. We're giving them away to anybody who's spending over $300 at our Grower Direct flash sale, or if you come down the store, if you spend over $300, we've got a free weeping cherry just waiting here for you. So free weeping cherry, white and pink, short and tall, your choice. These short ones are good if you want to grow one in a big tub. The tall one's a bit tall for a big tub, but put this into a big tub. If it's sort of jacked up like this, it'll be just the perfect weeping cherry for you. And and here's a tall weeping cherry. This one here's a white one, it's a falling snow, and it has beautiful white blossom. And this is a 6 footer. This would be a fabulous centerpiece to grow in the middle of your garden. A $100 weeping cherry for free when you spend over $300. So this is the weeping cherries are on me. That's our weeping cherries are on me sale. And let's get started. We'll get rid of these cherries and we'll have a look here. So what we've got is we've got 100 specials to show you today, and this one here, these are just starting to flower. These are going to flower for months and months and months. They'll flower till about Christmas, and then you give them a trim, give them a feed, and they'll grow back and start flowering again after Christmas. And this one is Raspberry Marguerite Daisy. Have a look at that there, beautiful little pink flower. These are going to be covered in pink flowers soon. And you go down to your Manning's departments, your big Manning's hardware, and you'll find that these cost $12.99, and normally we sell them for $12.99. $12.99 is a very good price, but these at this sale are $6.99. So $6.99 for a beautiful Raspberry Marguerite Daisy. Now, one of the longest flowering daisies, I think they flower 365 days a year, is this purple cutleaf daisy. It's a brachyscome daisy, and these can cost $12.99 at your local nursery. We've got them for $6.99. Beautiful hardy ground cover, covers quite a big area, and flowers and flowers and flowers and flowers and flowers. Purple cutleaf daisies, $6.99. Now I love this cutleaf daisy here. Look at this vibrant pink flower. Look at it, and these flower pretty much all year. So really, if you want a nice ground covery daisy that's going to flower all year, this beautiful pink daisy is the go. And this is a pink brachyscome. It has a different leaf, very lush and green, really, really nice, and quite hardy and quite long-lived. And these are $6.99. So $6.99 for a pink cutleaf daisy. And don't forget, if you spend over $300, now you can buy online, you can ring up, or you can come down to the store. It's all up to you. And all of these specials are available until next Friday lunchtime or until sold out. Now what we've got here is we've got an Edna Butler Sasanqua Camellia, and it's from a very good grower. It's grown by Warners, which are probably the best growers around. And it's nearly as tall as me. I'm 6 foot, so really good sized plant. Now, a lot of nurseries you might pay $100, $120 for something like this. We normally sell these for $79.99, which is a great price for something like this size. But right now at our Grower Direct Flash Sale, these are $59.99. So $59.99 at our Grower Direct Flash Sale. Now, when you spend over $300, now this is fabulous. This is a Hiryu Sasanqua Camellia. I think it's one of my favourite. And this is the closest in Sasanqua you get to a red, but I wouldn't call this a red. It's sort of a mauvey, vibrant, sort of super duper pink. Now, what I love about Hiryu, it's one of the strongest growers in the Camellia family. Look at the shoot on the top of that. And it's the same age as that Edna Butler that just went through, but you can see it's quite a bit taller. It's over my head. So Hiryu, fast growing, great for a hedge, great for a specimen, and I love this vibrant colour that you see here. Look at this fabulous vibrant colour. And I might give you a close-up look at that beautiful flower. Have a look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? Look at that. So Hiryu Sasanqua. Now, beautiful Sasanqua Camellia. Now, these have been flowering. I think it's also one of the longest flowering. I videoed these flowering. I reckon it would have been 6 or 7 weeks ago, and there's still buds coming. So these flower for at least 3 months of the year. They're flowering in autumn and they're flowering almost through till springtime. So fabulous Sasanqua Camellia, and something this size you'd expect to pay $120 for something like this, because this would be quite a few years old, but we're selling these for $59.99, so $59.99. Now, I remember when I was a kid, the richest man in our neighbourhood, big mansion. We used to go down there. I think we used to. I used to go down there and deliver cream from our cow to this chap. Had a big mansion and servants and everything like that. And as you walked up to the front door, he had big tubs of camellias. And this is the actual one. I didn't know the name of it back then, but it's called Yuletide. And Yuletide has this amazing red flower and yellow centre. A very, very dramatic, very flowers and flowers and flowers. But this, if you wanted a really compact camellia to grow perhaps in a shady corner, in a nice big tub, this is a beautiful, one like this, it's only 70 centimetres tall, but it's probably 5 years old. So this is something you could keep in a pot for the next 20 years without a problem. Next 20, 30 years, a really good compact camellia, fabulous flowers, really, really beautiful camellia called Yuletide. And these are 5 years old at least, and they're $59.99. Now, what we've got here, this is a very sought after Sasanqua Camellia. It's very bushy. You'll see it's quite a bushy one. It's not as fast growing as some of the ones around, but basically what it's got is that it's got it's a double Sasanqua, and it's got petals right in the middle, which kind of hide the yellow stamens that are prominent in most Sasanqua camellias. And so lots of people who don't like a bit of yellow in the garden go for this one here because of the double with the little petals in the middle. I might just bring that a bit closer so people can see that. Can you see that there? Yeah. Yeah, that's it. So this one here, beautiful double white flowers, quite an amazing Sasanqua, and these you'd expect to pay $100 for something like this size like this, and these are going out for $59.99. So if you're doing a green and white garden and you want a really classy flower, Asakura, $59.99. So Sasanqua Asakura. Now we do one of the things. Not only if you spend over $300, are we giving away a free $100 weeping cherry. But say you bought half a dozen of one of these Sasanqua camellias, and say you lived in Traralgon, or maybe you live in Yea or somewhere like that, but you're in one of the country spots where we do free delivery. We do free delivery when you spend over $300. You could be in Geelong, you could be in Toorak, you could be in Narra, or you could be in Traralgon, Moe, Morwell, any of those places, Yea, Bendigo, any of those places. You spend $300 and we'll do a free delivery. And right now we're going to chuck in a free weeping cherry. And it's really just, it's very important. Spring's going to be happening soon. We're going to be absolutely flat chatting. I've got to keep my staff practice and moving. My van's full, everything operating and functioning. So we're giving away free delivery and free weeping cherries when you spend over $300 over most of Victoria.
Welcome everyone to today's live stream. I'm Jodie. I'll be your co-host with Chris today. I'll be conveying your comments to Chris and fielding any questions that you might have. This is our Growers Direct, our weekly Growers Direct flash sale. If you've got any questions, definitely pop them in the chat. And Chris, what are you saying about the weeping cherries?
The weeping cherries are on me. That's the free weeping cherries are on me. Yeah. And so anyway, so here we are. What have we got here? We've got a, that's the early Pearly. Now early Pearly, no yellow stamen in the middle. This is a formal shaped, this one here is a sort of a formal shaped camellia with no yellow stamens in the middle. A lovely little formal flower, gorgeous, gorgeous plant. A little bit slow growing. So it's really good if you want one that you're not going to be having to trim too much. This one here, early Pearly, is a great one to get. So early Pearly, beautiful white flowers, sort of a formal double flower. That's that you're seeing here, formal double flower. If you've got a very formal green and white garden, this is the Sasanqua that you've been waiting for. And this one's here, well over 1 metre tall, which is great on one of these slow growing Sasanquas, and it's $59.99. So early Pearly, $59.99. Now what we've got here is Convolvulus prime white. Look at these beautiful white flowers. Now Convolvulus is a fantastic ground cover. You could plant them over roses. I just did a garden design this morning and the lady had a large concrete retaining wall at the back of her house at a sort of a rather formal sort of a garden, and what we did was we put these along the top of the concrete wall, and these will cascade over, lovely green cover. They'll cascade over, they'll be very hardy, very low maintenance, and be covered in these beautiful white flowers. And the thing is, it's how long they get covered. These flowers will start between the 15th and 20th of September, and they'll go right through to almost the end of May. I think that's 6 or 7 months. I haven't quite worked that out, but it's very, very long. The longest flowering ground cover I can think of. So this is your white Convolvulus, and a lot of places you'd pay 12, 14, maybe. Some people would even charge you $16 for one of these. And we normally, actually our normal price is $16, but right now we're giving them away for $6.99. So $6.99 for fabulous white Convolvulus.
Chris, got a question here. Pardon me. Kate has joined us on...
Hi, Kate.
Yeah, Kate's joined us on Facebook. Kate was with us on Monday for a garden design session, and Kate asks, are there many bare root trees left following on from our meeting on Monday? She's hoping that we'd have enough to get her through.
Lots and lots of bare root trees. In fact, there's going to be, over the next month, there's going to be quite a few sales. What it is, because of the tough economy, bare root sales have been pretty grim with the growers. And I'm expecting August to be our biggest month in many, many years, with lots and lots of bare rooted bargains. So August is going to be the month to get bare rooted.
Excellent. So Kate, definitely have a listen into what we've got coming up today, and get onto some of these bare rooted offerings we've got on our website. Yeah.
So what Kate should do is give us an idea what she wants, and we'll look through what the growers are wanting to clear, and we can get to, she's got quite a big property to do.
She does.
We can work out a real good deal. So first thing is give us a bit of an idea, or give us a sort of a wish list or something like that.
Yep.
And I mean, anybody listening today, give us a bare rooted wish list and we'll make your bare rooted dreams come true.
That sounds really good. And Carlos is back on Facebook.
Hello Carlos.
So Carlos was with us last week, and Carlos asks, any tips for replanting a 4-metre olive tree in Melbourne?
Okay, olive trees are highly transplantable, and the thing is, take off 90% of the foliage, cut it right back, dig it up, move it, plant it in a well-drained hole, and really cut it back, really trim it back. And that's the secret.
Beautiful. There you go, Carlos. I hope that's helpful.
Okay, so here we've got Avonview Lavender. Now, Avonview Lavender, they're all cutting grown. They're the ones that they have the little they have these little fairy wings on them. Now, Avonview Lavender, if you want a sort of a medium-sized lavender, it's not a miniature lavender, it's not a big lavender. If you want a medium-sized lavender, if you want a lavender that lives for a long time, if you want a great lavender for a hedge, if you want a long flowering, long-lived lavender, Avonview, absolutely fabulous. Run your hands over it like this. It smells fantastic. Lots of sort of lavender oil in it, so great fragrance, great coloured flowers, long-lived, long-flowering Avonview. Now these ones here, these lavender Avonviews, are reduced from $19.99 to $14.99. Now $14.99 may not seem that cheap, but what it is, these are big bushy 8-inch pots, and if you go down to your local nursery, you'll find that a little 6-inch pot costs $14.99. So what you're getting is this is a free upgrade. So basically for the price of a 6-inch pot, you're getting a big bushy 8-inch pot, which if you wanted to have some nice lavenders in the garden, you've got a great head start with these at $14.99. So lavender Avonview, $14.99. Okay, so let's get rid of that. That's sort of some sort of weird. Is that an early pink?
All right, guys. So
okay, early pink.
if you're wanting to get onto some of the bargains that we've got 100 fabulous bargains on offer today. If you want to get onto any of those, if you if you scan the QR code that's on the screen, or if you click the pinned comment that's on each of our chats on all of the platforms where we're streaming today, that will take you straight to our sales page with all of these red hot bargains.
Yeah, or you could drag the trailer out of the shed, hook it up and head on down to Hello today, tomorrow, the next day. We're in for a beautiful spring-like weekend, and you could fill up that trailer with amazing bargains, and if you spend over $300, what would happen?
Oh, you get free delivery.
And a free weeping cherry.
And a free weeping cherry.
And a free weeping cherry, yeah.
Just the one though.
So at any rate, here's something I'm really happy about this. It's a wonderful thing. It just shows how wonderful and responsive our nursery industry is. Is that for many, many years, nurserymen sold an early pink Solangiana magnolia, and then that's the magnolia that sets everybody off in spring. All over Melbourne, there's great big ones of these, like here they are there, and they're just covered in these amazing mauvey pink blooms, and they're a beautiful big tree, and they're all over Melbourne. And and then what happens is that a lot of nurserymen swung over in recent years to doing all the modern varieties of magnolias, and they forgot about the early pink. Where one nurseryman has grown heaps of these early pinks, and these are cutting grown, so it means that they're 2 years old right now. They're sexually mature. There's probably 1 or 2 little flowers coming, but by next year you'll have this flowering beautifully. So it's a cutting grown, sexually mature, early pink Solangiana magnolia. So this one here, if you plant this in your garden, you're going to get that classic Melbourne magnolia, the one that flowers late winter and puts on the amazing show, the strong grower, the big grower. This is not just a Solangiana magnolia, this is the early pink magnolia. And it's fabulous that a nurseryman, like there's been a massive demand for this. People have been desperately looking for them, and one nurseryman's growing them, and they're really good. These early pink magnolias here, reduced from $39.99 to $22.99. Now have a look. It's a good 5 foot tall. It's sexually mature. It's cutting grown. Like sometimes you buy these Solangiana magnolias, they grow them from seed and they take 10 years to flower. This one here will produce 1 or 2 flowers this year, and by next year be flowering quite strongly. So it's a fabulous deal for $22.99. This will turn your garden into a classic Melbourne garden. So early pink Solangiana magnolia. That's the one. That's it there. That's the one to have.
It's beautiful. Now, Chris, Karen's with us again. Hello,
Hi,
Karen.
Hello, Karen.
And Karen has just asked, is it scented?
Yes.
It is scented.
Yes, beautifully fragrant. It's kind of like, it's not my absolute favourite magnolia, but it's kind of like part of the Melbourne cultural heritage. You know, like it's the magnolia. It's sort of like the iceberg. It's like the picket fence and the iceberg rose and that. It's something that just says Melbourne.
It does.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also, Kiddo has joined us on TikTok. Kiddo says hi.
Hiya, Kiddo. Don't forget, the weeping cherries are on me. Right. Okay, so what we've got here is we've got Nepeta Walker's Blue. Now, these don't look very impressive, but if you put these in the garden and give them a bit of a feed, and they're not costing a fortune, these are $6.99. They really are one of the most beautiful things you can put in the garden. They make by these ones here, by late October, will make this beautiful mound, probably about 50 centimetres across and 30 centimetres tall, and they'll be covered in glorious blue lavender-like flowers, and then they'll flower for about 3 months, and then if you cut them back, you've got another flowering for the autumn. So cut them back and feed them, get another flowering for the autumn. So Nepeta, Catmint, Walker's Blue, beautiful, and it's something that you know most nurseries are charging $14-15 for a 6-inch pot. One of these have got plenty of they've got plenty of guts in them, and these ones are $6.99. So $6.99, and you'll have a botanical wonder in your garden for spring.
And they'll go on for years and years, won't they, Chris?
Yeah. We should show people like the whole buckets of roses. You got to really
All right.
get them excited.
So don't forget that we do offer free delivery to a hell of a lot of places in Victoria. So if you're in any of the areas from Traralgon to Shepparton to I think out to Barwon Heads to Warrnambool, we shipped out to Karen out there.
Yeah, that's right.
onto it.
We've got 6 vans on the road delivering, and that's why we're giving away the free weeping cherries. Is we've got to keep those van drivers busy.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, we've got to give them something to do in these cold months, and so we've got them up taking these weeping cherries up to Traralgon, and we've got them going all over the place. You know. Now, I popped into Bunnings the other day to buy a few bits and pieces, and I just happened to walk past their Mannings, that's right, Mannings.
Yeah,
I wouldn't. Yeah, no, Mannings. Mannings is a popular big hardware store chain. You know that.
Out in the west.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so I popped past Mannings and I just happened to look, and I bought a few bit of cleaning stuff. They got a great range of cleaning stuff there, but I got to their rose section and it wasn't that amazing. What I saw was 20 or 30 beat up roses in there, and there was only one of this and one of that. And when I looked at the prices, they were about double the prices we got here. Now, if you were to come down here to our nursery looking for some roses, you'd be mighty pleased. What would happen is you'd see that I've got these big buckets of roses. They've been freshly dug from the field, and we've hilled them straight into big buckets. Very healthy way to treat them. I've been doing this since I was a kid, actually. At any rate, and what you'll find is that these buckets of roses here, how many have we got here? We've got 100?
Oh, we've got at least.
So we've got about 100 buckets of roses here, big buckets like this, with big healthy roses imported from South Australia, big heads on them. And what it is that we've got of one variety, we'll have up to 100, 120 of one variety, maybe as little as 30 of one variety. So if you wanted, say for instance, black velvet, very, very popular, dark red, beautiful sort of velvety finish on the flower, strong grower, deep fragrance, fabulous. If you were after a red rose, you couldn't do much better than a black velvet rose. But we've got lots of other red roses out here. But right now we've got black velvet roses you can buy on the Grow Direct flash sale, $29.99. So if you needed half a dozen of them, now some places like Mannings are selling a rose this size here at the moment, sort of up around the $60 mark. So $29.99, great price. And so, but if you came down here, there's not a better place possibly on the planet to buy some retail roses right at the moment. Because you've got thousands to choose from, yeah. So you'd have a hard time getting a bigger, better rose display anywhere else.
And these are 3-foot standards, aren't they?
Yeah, these are 3-foot standards. They're an honest 3 foot, and they're a beautiful thick stem. And here we are, the black velvet rose, 3 foot, $29.99. Right, so here we are now. We've got now here we've got your 2-foot rose. Now these 2-foot roses, $19.99. So $19.99. Great to grow in a pot. Great to grow in a small garden bed. And if you've got like a garden path, you put them up the garden path. 2-footers are great because 3-footers, by the time the 3-footers grow, they end up 5 foot, and you can feel a bit sort of squished by them. But the 2-footers, you can walk up the garden path and they're not too tall. Now this one here is Blue Moon. Blue Moon, beautiful sort of mauvey blue, fabulous, not a strong fragrance, but a gentle, sweet, beautiful fragrance, a lovely fragrance. Sometimes I team the blue moon. It looks good with the yellow, so you can team it with a freesia or a gold bunny. It's a great little bit of team. And that's what you find. You come down here, you could get 3 blue moons and 3 gold bunnies or whatever you want. Really, you'd have to say that we've got a kind of an orgy of roses to choose from out here. Fabulous range of roses. But these ones here, 1990, and this is the Blue Moon Rose. Now here comes one of my real favourites. Whereabouts is it? Now we've got buckets of these out the front, and this one here is Charles de Gaulle. Now Charles de Gaulle, beautiful sort of lavender blue, beautiful big flower. Now what I've noticed about Charles de Gaulle is easy to grow. Any idiot could get a beautiful big bushy one of these with heaps of flowers and not know how to grow a rose. You wouldn't need it's very, very tough and easy to grow, so you wouldn't need to know how to grow roses to be successful with a Charles de Gaulle. But the best thing about Charles, beautiful big blue flower, sort of really big ruffled, fantastic flower, but the best thing about Charles de Gaulle is the fragrance. It would rate in my top 5 roses for fragrance, but being such a beautiful flower and such a wonderful colour, it's sort of near the top of my favourite roses, but certainly in the top 5 for fragrance of all the roses that we deal in, and $29.99. Now if you needed half a dozen of these, 5, 3, 6, whatever, we've got a big bucket of them out the front there, and you could have your rose dreams come true. Now here we've got a 2-foot Double Delight. Now why do they call it Double Delight? It's very easy. What it is, it's an exquisite flower. It's an amazing, have a close look at this flower here. It's got red, white and cream in the flower. So red, white and cream, beautiful flower, and only $19.99. So $19.99. Beautiful rose. And I think this would be in the top 3 for fragrance in my mind. And some roses you wonder, you smell them and you think, gee, has that really got a nice smell? But this one here, I describe this, the smell of this as a punch in the nose. It's like bang, there's no question about whether you're smelling something or not. Double Delight, $19.99. So this weekend is a great weekend to come down here and get cheap roses, or go online and get yourself some cheap roses. But not just get cheap roses, make your rose dreams come true. Get 6 of this or 10 of that. Get the roses that you really want, the roses you're dreaming about. Now what we've got here is Gold Bunny. Now I think Gold Bunny is the best yellow rose around. It is the best yellow rose. Fabulous yellow rose. Love Gold Bunny. And Gold Bunny is something that I would be very tempted to team with a Charles de Gaulle or a Blue Moon. I reckon often people come in and I do the garden design, and it's a combo that I love. Is if you're doing a little row of standard roses, and if you combine Gold Bunny and Blue Moon, or Gold Bunny and Charles de Gaulle, it's a lovely colour combo. I don't think there's hardly a nicer colour combo in the rose world than those two. And so these ones here, Gold Bunnies, $19.99. And there's plenty of them here, so come down, get yourself a dozen, or maybe 3 Gold Bunnies and 3 Blue Moons. Then we've got the 2-foot Iceberg. Now this is the most wondrous thing. These are beautiful strong roses. Here you've got 2-footers, and here you've got 3-footers. Now Iceberg roses are the classic rose in Melbourne. Look at them. Well, actually the classic thing in Melbourne is your picket fence, your white picket fence. Okay, the classic. Yeah, thank you. We'll put him over here. The classic Melbourne garden has some English box. It has a white picket fence, and it has some standard Iceberg roses. And standard icebergs are fantastic. You really don't need, some roses you need to spray, icebergs you don't have to spray. A bit of water, a bit of fertiliser, bit of a trim, you can hack them any old way. And if you keep them well fertilised, they'll have leaves and flowers all year round. Like I've been seeing some beautiful displays of iceberg roses I've been driving around just in the last few weeks, dead of winter, fantastic. So iceberg roses, and so people who don't really love roses, but they love that classic Melbourne garden, they buy iceberg roses, they poke them in, and they absolutely flourish with very, very little care. Like, if you were rating roses as a 10 out of 10 for hardiness, these are 12.5 out of 10. They're a 12.5 out of 10.
12.5 out of 10.
12.5, yeah, I've worked it out.
Good.
Yeah, it's amazing. They're 12.5 out of 10. and with most other roses being more of a 5 or a 6. So they're really quite an amazing rose, and that's why they're so popular. Now these 2-footers here, these are the cheapest standard icebergs possibly on the planet, but certainly in Melbourne, $16.99. So $16.99. Our 3-footers, we've got thousands of them here, and we're selling them by the hundred. We're selling truckloads of them. They're $29.99, and what's good about them, they've got a good strong head on them. They've got a lovely stem on them. They've been DI'd. They're not going to sucker all up and down the stem. They're really top quality roses, and they're $29.99. And then here we've got, these are 4-footers. They've been grown in the pot for a year, and they're very, very cheap. A lot of people are up in the $80, $90 range for their 4-foot icebergs. These are $49.99, so $49.99. So run that through. Standard iceberg roses, $16.99, $29.99, and $49.99. And you could ring up and reserve a couple now. Get a bundle of them right now. You could come down here, hook up the trailer, come down here, get a load of them on the weekend or today even, or you can go online and order these online. And you just sort of click on this thingy-bob here and click on that, and you'll be there. You'll be at the page, and you'll be able to, and the same with any of the specials. You can go to that page and all of our specials are there today. But right now I'm running you through those specials and giving you a real good look at them.
Excellent. So if you've just joined us, we are running through our 100 hot bargains for the week. The standard roses are just a couple of those that are on offer. If you want to grab them, then either click the comment. Sorry, we've got a pinned comment. We've got a link in the chat on all of our social platforms, and also if you scan the QR code on the screen, it'll also take you directly to our sales page with all of these bargains on it.
Right, now here we've got, now if you want a white rose, but you want a sort of a real classic rose, not sort of the iceberg with lots and lots of little white flowers, but you want a big classic white rose, go for a Pascali. And Pascali has a beautiful gentle fragrance, a little bit more fragrance than an iceberg. And these Pascals here are $29.99, a really classy, beautiful, big white rose that'll really set your garden apart for $29.99. So Pascali. And Pascali are normally pretty hard to get. Now what we have here is your Mirage Lavender. So that's it there, has beautiful white flowers. So it flowers for about 6 months of the year. It's a fabulous thing. Now if you want, Salvia is a real tough. You can grow them out in a nature strip, grow them in a hot, difficult spot. And a lot of Salvias grow real big and a bit unruly. This one here only grows 60 or 70 centimetres, so it only grows sort of a bit over knee high. Beautiful bushy plant, covered in gorgeous white flowers. This is it, you see it up here. And these ones here, a lot of nurseries are charged $14, $15, $16, but these are $6.99. So $6.99, lap them up. Great for the cottage garden, pop them in amongst your roses, wonderful things to have, $6.99. These are your Salvia roses. Your your white Salvia, sorry. Okay, dwarf white Salvia, Mirage Salvia. Now here, what we have here is a cotton lavender. Now cotton lavenders have amazing silver grey foliage. They're really, really tough. Out around Sunbury, the council grows them everywhere in the middle of the road, in the traffic islands. They have little yellow button flowers, gorgeous plant, lovely silver foliage, really, really tough, drought resistant. And these ones here are, how much are they? They're $6.99, so $6.99 for cotton lavender. That's a great price. Normally most stores would be selling them for $12, $14. I think even down at Manning's they're about $14, so there we are. Now let's have a look here. So what we've got is we've got Alice Eastwood Lilac. Now lilacs, when I was a kid, they were really popular. People couldn't have a garden in Melbourne without having a lilac in the front or the back. But then they sort of went out of fashion, but now they're back in fashion. Now this is a beautiful, soft lavender coloured lilac. So beautiful pale blue flowers, and they're fabulous fragrant flowers. So you can use these as a cut flower. Beautiful thing, beautiful mass flowering in the spring. And these ones here reduced from $69 to $26.99, so $26.99.
Chris, so Kate is back with us. Kate was a lady we had the garden design session with on Monday. Just asking, what is the best fertiliser for roses?
On a farm, composted horse manure would be fantastic. Throw your horse manure into a heap, rot it for a year, throw other rubbish in with it, rot it for a year, and that would be absolutely fabulous.
Yep.
But something like Osmocote works really well too. So for the average guy who hasn't got a horse, Osmocote.
Osmocote all purpose.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you sell those in large containers.
Yeah, we sell those, and we refill the containers as well. So now what we have here is your Catherine Havemeyer lilac, and that is a beautiful, let's have a look, beautiful classic pale blue lilac, beautiful one. And this is a lovely strong plant, and these are reduced from $69.99 to $26.99. Now, the first time I ever grew lilacs, nobody ever told me much about it. I had suckers everywhere, and I was always out there chopping the suckers off them. But an old nurseryman told me that if you bury, and what you can do is rather than dig your lilac deep in the ground and give it root rot because it's down too deep, plant it just as you would normally, then hill up your soil so that you cover the graft. And once you because what a lilac is, it's grafted onto a privet vulgaris, which means it's a vulgar privet, and it is a rather vulgar privet that they grafted onto. It's quite a nasty weed, really. But if you bury that vulgar privet under the ground, it won't shoot. So what you do is you've got a few suckers on you, and this would apply for this lilac here or for one you might have at home. If you're getting suckers, and I grubbed mine out in the end, I was getting so many suckers, I was sick of it, but I didn't know the answer. But then an old nurseryman told me, he said bury them, and it's ever since I've buried them, and the suckers are not a problem. So don't dig them in deep, plant them at the normal depth, cover them up, and bury the stump, and you'll stop your lilac from suckering. And this is a classic one, Catherine Havemeyer. I think it's been around for the last 100 years. Beautiful lilac, and $26.99. So here we've got a Carpogrotis hot pink. Now you'll be starting to see these flower. You see them on roadsides, you see them on roundabouts, you see them in front of factories. These, if you want a tough ground cover that gives you a gorgeous show, a massive flowering show, I see them when I drive up the country. I see them everywhere. You start to see them over the next couple of weeks, flowering all over the place. It's an Australian native. It's edible, but I'm not in the mood for eating one of these today. It's if you're ever sort of really, really stuck in the desert or something like that, and you found one of these, you could live off it. So here it is, your Carpogrotis hot pink, and these nice big 6-inch pots are just $5.99, $5.99. So you can afford to grow a carpet of these quite easy. If you're in a hurry to cover an area, plant 2 of them per square metre at $5.99. You can afford to do it. Now we've got the yellow one. These are 3-inch pots. You haven't got a 6-inch pot, have you? We're doing 6-inch pot this week. So at any rate, Carpogrotis yellow 6-inch pots. These ones here are 3-inch pots, but the 6-inch pots are bigger and bushier and better. And now I searched for years for these. This is the yellow one. It's hard to find. The yellow one has these amazing yellow flowers with just a tiny hint of pink in them. It's a very aggressive, thick, bushy ground cover that'll cover the ground. It'll survive frost, poor soil, drought. It'll survive almost anything. And in winter, you get this incredible show of these beautiful, big yellow flowers. The flowers are about this size, like that. And we've got wonderful 6-inch pots for $5.99. So $5.99 for yellow Carpogrotis. Ready for the white star. So here we have Pratia White Star. Now Pratia White Star is like a beautiful sort of flat growing green moss. Have a look at that there. Look at that wonderful plant. Wonderful plant. And what happens for 8 or 9 months of the year, it's got beautiful little starry white flowers. So it's Pratia White Star, only $5.99. Great if you want to have like a little mossy ground cover between your steppers or something like that. So really handy plant, create a border, throw it into the cottage garden. Wonderful plant at $5.99. Now here we have the Sagina Lemon Lime Irish Moss. And here it is here, and it's a beautiful, this is you can grow this in a pot, grow it in the garden. It's a beautiful sun hardy moss-like plant, and these ones here, have a look here, these ones here are only, lemon lime moss, are only $6.99, so $6.99 for the Sagina Lemon Lime Moss. Now we've got our Saxifraga, and this is your beautiful lime Saxifraga. We might put all the Saxifragas up now. We've got a beautiful lime Saxifraga. Have a look at that. And it's sort of just a little off-white. And these are going to flower like crazy from now to the mid of spring. And then we've got a pink Saxifraga. Or is this one here is the Picotee. Picotee is sort of a sort of pink and white one. Have a look at that one there. And these are all of these Saxifragas are $7.99. So $7.99. Now here we've got a pink Saxifraga, a beautiful pink Saxifraga. Have a look at that. Pink Saxifraga, $7.99. And then the most popular Saxifraga of all, and probably the one that seems to have the most flowers, is the white Saxifraga. Look at that there, gorgeous. White Saxifraga. And all these Saxifragas and all these Saxifragas, great for winter flowers. And these are going to flower right into the mid of spring. So really fabulous. This is your red Saxifraga. A wonderful winter flowering ground cover, and $7.99. Great price. Right now, Scleranthus Lime Lava, or if you see, we're promoting this. It's become popular as Zen Moss. So here it is. You've got these lovely big 12-inch pots like that, and then we've got these 6-inch pots here, and we've got them. The 6-inch pots are $9.99, and if you plant these like this, within a few months you'll have something like this. That will only take 3 or 4 months to turn this into that. So wonderful plant to get that sort of really zen look in the garden. Fabulous plant. And what's interesting, although you'd sort of, with the word moss in the name, you'd think Irish moss, Zen moss, you'd think, wow, these things, I've got to grow them in the shade. But no, you've got to grow them in the sun. These love the sun and hate the shade. So Zen moss from $9.99, and then you've got your 12-inch Zen moss is reduced to $30. So this big Zen moss like this is just $39.99. So $39.99 for your Zen moss.
And they were previously $70.
Yeah, really big reduction. So here you've got your chalk sticks in a 3-inch pot. Now these are beautiful big gutsy plants. Look at this plant here. I'll get you out a nice one. Yeah, look at this big plant here. This is a great plant. Now this is a wonderful, have a look at the screen there. This is a fabulous ground cover, and these are good big gutsy plants. If you plant 2 of these per square metre, you'll have cover in no time. And these are something you could plant around the factory, plant on the farm. If you want a big bright silver ground cover, if you want something that really draws the eye but it's tough as nails, maybe it's down the holiday house, this is a great plant. It's your chalk stick, and they're not going to send you broke. You could buy 50 of these and not go broke. These are just $3.99, I think. So yeah, $3.99 for nice big gutsy 3-inch pot chalk sticks. Now, have we got any nice foxtail ferns that we can show, nice big ones? They're coming in the truck. They were coming on the truck today, weren't they? Yeah, let's put these to one side and do it a bit later, do it properly. So what we have here is we've got birthday candles in 8-inch pots. Now, if you've been out, birthday candles are probably one of my favourite Australian natives. They have the big orangey flowers. This is your birthday candle here. They have beautiful big orangey flowers. I'll show you on the screen here. Have a look here at these flowers here. Now what's good about these is they only grow 50 or 60 centimetres tall. They grow at 1 to 1.5 metres wide. So just this lovely round mound covered in the most amazing orange flowers, in bottle brush style flowers. very hard to find, almost impossible to find. We've got a little stash of them and we're doing them for $49.99. So one of the hardest to get natives, and these are nice big plants. Look at the size of that, nice big plants, $49.99. Birthday candles, one of the best Australian natives and one of the hardest ones to get at the moment, your birthday candles.
Even better value, mate. They're they're $46.99.
Oh, $46.99. Thank you for that correction. So
Welcome.
only $46.99, but the big thing is that we've actually got them. Right, so what we've got here, is English box. Now, what we were probably trying to convey to you is that we have lots of English box, and I wonder, do we have our English box sign? Where's that $4.99 sign? No, the big sign. Yeah, let's put that up. So is there anything we do while setting up the box? Yeah, so what we've got here, can we see the English box? I'm not sure what the...
Chris, this might be a good time to just welcome everybody that's joined us, since we're rocketing our way through these 100 specials. These are our 100 hottest ticket items in the nursery this week.
Yeah.
So our live sale goes from 12 p.m. Friday in 1 week to 12 p.m. Friday in the following week.
Or until sold out. There's only limited numbers on pretty much all of this stock, so it's here until we're sold out. Until we're sold out. And what it is English box is one of our real specialties. Look at this fabulous display. Now, we're really serious about English box, and the reason why we're serious about English box is Melbourne and Victoria's favourite plant. There's basically nurserymen growing millions of them, and they're popular because they grow in the shade, they grow in the sun, and they do really, really well in the Melbourne environment. But buying English box can be a problem because they can be expensive. Down at your local store, you might be paying $9, $10, $12 for a 6-inch pot. Now, see these 6-inch pots like this? Look at this price here, $4.99. So $4.99 for a 6-inch pot English box. And then my daughter, you wouldn't believe, she's growing thousands of these ones here. I said to my daughter, I said, I want a really nice, healthy little English box, and I want it for under $2. So here it is. She's been producing thousands of them. And
$1.99.
And they're reduced from $2.99 to $1.99. So often people, when they're doing a big project, sometimes people need 500 English box for one project. You know, you might be doing a winery or something with hedges, and you might need 500, but other people need 50. Say you need 50 of them and you're on a tight budget, 50 of them for under $100.
Yep.
500 of them for under $1,000.
Amazing.
Yeah. So big project.
And look at the roots on those.
Yeah,
Chris. They're ready to rocket away in your soil.
My daughter's growing heaps of them, and I was just noticing. Look at the root system on that. That's a really healthy plant. You plant 5 of them to the metre, and you're going to and basically a couple of years from now, you wouldn't know whether you bought $2 ones or $5 ones. Now, the great thing about the $4.99, let's look at those $4.99s again. The great thing about the $4.99, just give me one of them. The great thing about your $4.99 English box, if you plant them at the rate of 5 per metre, in 12 months you'll have quite a respectable little border or hedge. So it'll only take you 12 months. With these ones here, you plant them this far apart like that, and in 12 months with a bit of water and fertiliser, you will have a little English box border or hedge. So it doesn't take years. And if you plant those little ones, those $1.99 ones, and you look after them, they love a bit of lime, a bit of fertiliser, a bit of water. You take those little ones, it's only 24 months. So if you were doing a big winery with 500 of them, 24 months from now, you'd have a very respectable border or hedge.
Now, Chris, a really good question, because I'm sure a few people out there have got English box hedges going, and at this time of the year, they're starting to go a little bit, turning their colour a little bit from the cold.
Yeah.
What's the best way to reinvigorate them? Get them
good feed, bit of Osmocote.
Yeah.
Actually, if your soil is a little bit acidic, right now would be a great time to hit it with a bit of dolomite lime.
Beautiful. And that will sweeten up that soil.
Yeah, so a pH test might show you 5.5 or something like that. a good dose of dolomite lime. Put a kilo of dolomite lime on every metre of hedge, leave it for a month, and then top dress with some Osmocote. And a lot of people are freaking out because we've had quite a cold winter and their English boxes turned brown. And do you know that brown English box it was sort of like a dead brown. Well, that means they're dead, it's no good. But that sort of browny, that greeny browny sort of colour that they turn is their fortification against the cold.
Yep.
Give them a dose of lime, give them a dose of Osmocote a month later, and they'll burst out and turn green in spring, and that brown will just be a bit of memory.
Yep, great.
Right, so what
Handy advice, because I'm sure some of the people on our streams will be dealing with those that colour issue at about this time of year, and best not to fret because there's always a solution.
Oh, right, okay, no worries. Yeah, so these ones here, these have been growing in the paddock and they're a little bit cold, but these are going to turn green and lush. Let's have a look. There we are. These will turn with a feed. These will turn green and lush in the springtime, and we've got 8-inch pots, and this is the last week that we're running out of them, unfortunately, because Melbourne is desperate for these, and that we're short on for them. Last week they'll go out at $19.99, and so there we are. You've got asparagus ferns, $19.99, and by the middle of summer they'll be dark green, glossy, and absolutely fabulous, just like you see here. So asparagus ferns, very hard to get at the moment, and these ones here are $19.99.
Beautiful.
So here we have Callistemon Better John. Now, Callistemon Better John at your local nursery is probably costing $16.99 or something similar. So, so Callistemon Better John, and these ones here are going out for $9.99. So Callistemon Better John. Now, Callistemon Better John grows about 1 metre tall, about 80 centimetres wide, lovely round, very lovely green foliage when it gets going, and lovely bright red little bushy flowers all over it. So beautiful little Callistemon for $9.99.
So it's like your Little John, only better.
Yeah, it's called Better John, yeah. So here we have Callistemon Green Envy. Now this is a beautiful, have a look at this label here, beautiful lush green Callistemon, covered in lovely bright red flowers, lovely little bottle brush flowers for months and months and months. So if you want a lovely bright green compact Callistemon with covered in beautiful red flowers, it's called Green Envy, normally $16.99. Right now they're $9.99. So $9.99 for the Green Envy. And here we have the Red Rocket. Now the Red Rocket in springtime is going to be covered in bright red new growth, and it has red flowers as well. Beautiful lush big plants. Look at that. And we're giving them away. Look at that there it is there. We're giving these away for $9.90. $9.90. Red Rocket Callistemon. Great native plant buying.
Now, Chris, Kiddo, who we said hello to earlier in the chat on TikTok, has sent you some love.
Oh, wow. Thank you very much. Much appreciated. So here we have pink diosma in 8-inch pots, and these have been reduced to $10.99. Now, you can't even buy a 6-inch pot for $10.99 and these are lovely established plants. These are the ones that you can clip these into a hedge, grow them into a round ball. They are really, really handy. In fact, I was having lunch in a petrol station yesterday, sitting there having up in where was I, in Roeville. And there was a few takeaway places there, and they had trimmed up pink diosma there, and I was thinking they've probably been there for like the last 25 years, and they've had very little love, and they look bloody good.
Yeah, they do. They always look good.
Yeah, and they were just coming out in their lovely little pink flowers, and I was thinking, what a great landscape plant. And so there it is, and actually I'm rubbing these with my hands, it's giving off the most beautiful smell, really, really nice smell. And so these pink diosmas here, $10.99. So if you've got a petrol station and you want to landscape it, pink diosma.
And look at the size of those plants, Chris.
Yeah. Maybe you've got some units. And if you want something, you want to plant it now and have it looking good in 20 years' time, pink diosma.
Or you've got a rental property and you've got some really tough tenants.
Yeah,
Chuck
that's
some
right.
of those in there and they'll be always looking good.
And the $10.99, they're big and they're bright and they're beaut. But there we are, $10.99. Now here we have Pacific Sunset. Now I want you to look closely at the colour in this. Look at the colour that we've got here. Look at the colour. Now, I get people in here all the time and they say, look, help me with the garden. I want you to help me with the garden and I want colour all year. And you can have it. And here it is. It's Pacific Sunset Coprosma. Now Pacific Sunset Coprosma, it'll take heat, it'll take wind, it'll take drought, it'll take poor soil, it'll take coastal winds, salty coastal winds. It'll take the most difficult conditions you can dish up and it'll give you colour 365 days of the year. So if you've got a boring green lawn and and you want a bit of excitement, pop some of these in. We've made some great videos about these just lately and they should be going to air pretty soon. But the coprosmas, with the cold winter, the coprosmas around Melbourne are looking glorious. I've been doing lots of little bits of video about coprosma, and this one here is one of the most colourful, one of the best. And actually this morning I was walking the dog and I went past a hedge that I'd done the garden design for the guy about 12 or 14 years ago, and the coprosma was looking fantastic. In fact, I think you're going back and chatting him up and see if I can get a few cuttings. So anyway, I was walking the dog and went past a hedge of this, and I remember designing this in when this was a new exciting plant 12 or 14 years ago, and it's still a very, very popular one. Coprosma Pacific Sunset, colour 365 days of the year, $29.99, so $29.99.
And another one for a little bit of urgency, because this is another one where the numbers have been thin on the ground and you've been able to lasso a good number of them for our
I was lucky. I was out on a buying trip. Basically, I'd been told by my staff that you couldn't get them. They'd been surveying all the nurseries, because I like to use these in my garden designs. And anyway, they said you cannot buy these anywhere. I was out on a buying trip and I came across a little block of 800 of them in the back of a really big nursery. And I said, these are not on your list, are they? And they said, no, we haven't got these on the list. There's just a little batch of them here and we haven't got around to putting them on the list. I said, that's fine, you don't have to, I'll take them. and so we as far as I know, we're the only nursery with these for retail.
Yeah,
I bought that block.
If you like this Pacific Sunset, get onto them because we're the only ones that do have them at the minute.
Yeah, so if you want that year-round colour, that's the story. I don't know that if anyone hears of any anywhere else, let me know because I want to get onto them. Because if I don't sell those, I'll pot them on and have bigger ones for next winter. So what we've got now is we've got Escallonia Iveyi. Now Escallonia Iveyi, this is a very interesting hedge. It doesn't grow too big. And it's a sort of thing that if you had a country property or maybe you're very casual about your garden and you want a very casual sort of a hedge that you barely trim or anything like that, Escallonia Iveyi, compact evergreen bush, doesn't grow. I think the tallest I've ever seen is about 2.5 metres, so it doesn't grow very big. It's the sort of thing you could plant as a hedge and not trim it. And then untrimmed, what's interesting about them is they flower and flower and flower and flower and flower and flower. They start flowering in the mid of September and you'll have your last flowers end of May. So that's very, very long flowering, and the less you trim them, the more they flower. And because it's not a big evergreen, it doesn't need that much trimming. And when you trim it real neatly, you lose a lot of flowers. So if you wanted a sort of a very loose, natural, casual, cottagey sort of a hedge, you love the dark green glossy foliage and you love crop after crop of white flowers, you're going to love these Escallonia Iveyi. And these ones here reduced from $29.99 to $18.99. Great, 8-inch pots.
Moshin has joined us on Facebook and it says, love your plants, just purchased over $400 worth.
Wow, did he get a free weeping cherry?
Yeah, Moshin, let us know. Get in touch if you haven't added a free weeping cherry to your order. Give us a call on 9359 3331 and we can help you to choose a weeping cherry that'll suit your garden, and we'll send it out to you for free.
You can get a white one, a pink one, a tall one or a short one.
Yep.
Whatever you want.
A wide one, skinny one.
Yeah, when you spend over $300, we'll have a look at these weeping cherries now. There's no other, and what it is, it's a very simple thing from my point of view. What it is that what you'll find, if you're not busy, you're in trouble. What happens, we've got 6 vans, we've got 6 drivers, we've got 3 or 4 people serving, we've got a couple of, a bundle of people at the back loading vans and doing orders and ordering in plants and moving around. And if we don't keep them all moving, if we don't keep them all active, by the time spring comes, when we get really, really busy, they'll have gone sedentary. Isn't it sedentary?
Sedentary, yeah.
Sedentary, yeah. They'll be sedentary and they won't be able to handle the spring. So we've actually got to get them revved up right now and get them moving in the cold.
That's right. Keep us active.
Yeah, we've got to keep them active, keep them on their toes. So what I've prepared to do is I'm prepared to give away quite a few hundred weeping cherries. So when you spend over, and that's to stop our staff from going, I don't know how to say it, sedentary. Sedentary, yeah, sedentary. We can't afford sedentary staff. And so we're giving away thousands of dollars worth of weeping cherries for free.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great idea.
And so what's happening, people think, oh, I don't want to go to the nursery, don't want to buy any plants, don't want to work in the garden, it's too cold. But my God, a free weeping cherry, I think I'll buy something. And that's what's happening. It's keeping us busy, and people are coming out in the icy cold, they're putting on them big parkas and things, and they're coming down here and they're buying a few plants and they're saying, geez, it's bloody cold, but I just had to come down here.
I'm just letting Moshin know all the details that he needs to make sure that he gets his free weeping cherry.
Yeah, great. So basically we've got a free weeping cherry for anybody in this cold weather that spent over $300. And in spring when it's warm, if you come here and ask me for a free weeping cherry, I'll tell you where to go. You got to come down now. While we're cold and trying to not become sedentary. So here we have a fabulous deal here. These are 8-inch pot Tom Thumbs, normally $12.99, which is a great price, and we're doing it for $10.99. Now, this would be a good plan. If you're putting a place on the market a lot of people are putting houses on the market this spring because things have picked up a little and the interest rates have gone down. And at $10.99, this would be a great little border to put out the front of your house that you're putting on the market. You couldn't go wrong. Plant 4 of these at the metre and wow. So $10.99, Tom Thumbs, a nice bushy little English box alternative. Lovely plant, very hardy, very easy to grow and very cheap at $10.99. Now here we've got Hebe Emerald Green. Now this is one of the most popular plants in the place. You see these going out on the weekend by the trolley load. But for you people who are at our Grower Direct flash sale, we're going to do these ones here for $21.99. Look what a gorgeous, neat little plant. Now, it looks like I've been up all night trimming these, but I don't have to because these are self-shaping, self-trimming, a great little low-maintenance ball. So $21.99. Now here we have Laura Petalum Plum Gorgeous. And these are really, really gorgeous. Have a look at this label here. Look at that there. Look, and there's the plant there. Now in springtime, these are covered in beautiful little spidery pink flowers that really leap out at you because the foliage is such a deep and beautiful purple. Then the new growth comes and it's kind of a crimson purple mixed together. And these kind of, you snip them a little bit on top and they form a beautiful low ground cover. And I use them in garden designs. I'll say a lot of people plant magnolias along the fence and they look a bit dull. And I'll dot these in between and they look fabulous, you know. So it's a great way to dress something up because it's not a big bush, it's a nice low growing bush. And these ones here are only $29.99 for a really sought after and wonderful plant.
They're really beautiful. Certainly will highlight many plants in the garden. Oh wow, look at the red tips on these ones, Chris.
Yeah, now these are your Snow Maiden.
Beautiful.
Now your Snow Maiden, I had a chap in just before and he described his garden as a little bit casual and he was looking for something to go up the side of the driveway that wouldn't get too big. And I said Snow Maidens. I said Snow Maiden's going to grow probably 6 to 7 foot tall, don't mind a trim. He'd put ornamental pears in and they'd turn into monsters and you had to pay money to get them chopped out. And this is a nice evergreen with fabulous white blossom in springtime that ain't going to get too big. So perfect for going up the side of the driveway. So if you want something that's for a bit of a casual garden that doesn't grow too big, you can't go wrong with your Snow Maiden. And we've got enormous big 12-inch pot Snow Maidens like this, reduced to $69.99. So $69.99. This would be, if you needed some big bushes, say you're putting a house on the market, you need some big bushes cheap, Snow Maiden $69.99, and just as you start putting it on the market in spring, these will be covered in white blossom. And then you've got these lovely little sort of medium-sized ones like this, and we're giving these away. We're giving these away for $10.99. $10.99. So that's crazy price. And beautiful white blossom Snow Maidens, medium-sized $10.99. Big fellas like that $69.99. A great choice for people who are putting their house on the market this spring. So here we've got Blue Lagoon Rosemary. Now Blue Lagoon Rosemary, it's interesting because it's not a prostrate rosemary, it's not a tall growing, it basically, Blue Lagoon Rosemary grows up, out and down. It grows in all directions. So it'll come over the edge of a stone wall, it'll grow up a little bit, it'll make a bit of a border, a bit of a hedge, and it's got a lovely bright blue flower, and that bright blue flower starts about a month ago, and it'll flower and flower and flower and flower and flower and flower until about October. So that would be sort of June to October. So beautiful, there it is there, beautiful blue flower, lovely informal sort of shape to it, planted. If you've got a farm or a factory and you want a big expanse of colour and interest that's super duper low maintenance, don't have to water, don't have to care for it much, Blue Lagoon, cover an embankment with it, cover someplace you really don't want to go or don't want to look at anymore. Blue Lagoon grows nearly a metre tall, grows a metre wide and hangs over the edge of things. Great, fabulous plant, and these ones here are $9.99. You can't go wrong.
Hot tip, Chris. The flowers off your rosemary are edible, and they're a really nice accoutrement to, you know, any of your salads. So you get that very mild rosemary flavour.
And the bright blueness of the Blue Lagoon would be fabulous, wouldn't it, to sprinkle over your flowers? I'll have to try that. I haven't tried that. I haven't eaten them, and I haven't seen them spread. And nothing like a bit of colour to bring a dish to life, is there?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, Chris, Peter DeMayo has joined us on YouTube. Now, Peter, we did a garden design session with him in the last week, and Peter said, hello, Chris, from Peter, Michelle, and the kids. It's a very exciting day today as our plants will arrive in Cobram.
Fantastic.
Thank you very much for your free garden design.
Right, great.
Yeah.
Thanks. Good to hear from you, Peter.
It was a pleasure.
Peter's a cheesemaker from Cosborough.
Amazing.
From Cobden. Is it Cobden?
Cobram.
Cobram,
Yep.
that's right.
Yep.
Cheesemaker from Cobram. Got a beautiful
Avonview
house and garden there.
Gorgeous.
Yeah. So here we've got a rainforest pearl. Now, if you've got exotic taste, this is a finger lime. It's an Australian native lime. And you can see it's got these beautiful red fruits, beautiful little red beads. Very, very, imagine incorporating that in a dessert or something like that. What a wonderful thing to have. Now, normally when you see these in the shops, they're little and scungy. They're little sort of like a couple of twigs and a couple of leaves, and you wonder how the hell it's ever going to make into something. But the particular grower who grows these, he grafts them. He's got a special technique, and these are really decent bushes. This will be producing fruit in no time. And so if you've been thinking, and this one here, the Rainforest Pearl, the colour is gorgeous. I can't wait to taste some of these. So your Rainforest Pearl, normally $89.99, reduced to $73.99. $73.99. Funny price. Is that right? Yeah, $73.99. So $73.99, and that is probably the best growing, best looking finger lime I've ever seen.
Yeah, that's an incredibly handsome plant.
Yeah, I see them around the trade, $40 or $50, and they look like something that needs to be thrown in the rubbish hopper.
Well, they're usually tiny.
Yeah, that's right, yeah. So there we are. Now, if you've been waiting for a wonderful edible bargain, this is a black fig. Now, your black figs are the sweetest and tastiest figs around. They've got that really rich flow. It's called a black Genoa fig, and these will grow into a beautiful fig tree. and these are $9.99. So $9.99 for a beautiful black fig. And here we've got our bite-sized apple. Now, if you want it, kids love their apple. They love their apple in the lunch. And here it is. This is a bite-sized apple. It's a little tiny apple. It's a miniature apple tree. So a miniature apple tree with a little miniature apple. Gorgeous thing to have, a bite-sized apple. And how much are these bite-sized apples? They are $10.99. So $10.99. You'd have an apple tree for your kids. You can even buy this, bring one of your kids down and get them to buy this apple tree, get them to take it home and plant it, and then they'll really love those apples when they come. So $10.99.
And they'll get a wonderful sense of achievement too when the apple's fruit.
Yeah, a school holiday project. Now here's a interesting looking stick. This is a pom pink. So this is like a pink lady apple, but it's a pink lady apple that grows on a column. So this is, if you've got only a tiny space for your apple tree, here it is, a pom pink apple tree. So pom pink apple tree, just a column apple, grows a beautiful column as you see there, beautiful pink fruit. This is your pink fruit growing on a column. So they're pom pink, and these ones here are really, really cheap. I'll just give you a price. The pom pink apple.
Pom pink are $49.99.
$49.99. That's really, really cheap. So $49.99.
$60.
Yeah, pom pink, $49.99. And here we have a Sweet Cheeks. This is another dwarf apple, and this is a lovely little mini apple, great for the kids. And this Sweet Cheeks is only $10.99. So $10.99. If you want an apple tree in your garden, you don't want to spend a fortune, $10.99, a great school holiday project, the $10.99 Sweet Cheeks apple. Here we have a Piccolini olive. Now the Piccolini olive was chosen by this particular grower because he feels that this Piccolini olive is it's an olive producing olive, produces plenty of olives. They're just a modest sized olive, but lots of them. But why he chose this, it has dense fine foliage. A lot of olives look kind of sparse and scungy, but this one here is dense fine foliage, and he thought that people who are going to grow a hedge or grow an olive as a specimen, or maybe toparize one or grow an olive in a pot, have an olive indoors. But anybody wanting an olive as an ornamental function would go for this because it's dense and fine. And this one here is a good 6 foot tall. I'm 6'2" or something like that, and this is taller than me, and it's $59.99. So a Piccolini olive, $59.99, great value. Again, if you're putting a house on the market, you need something big, evergreen and cheap, $59.99, olive over 6 foot tall. Now here we have the Athena Choice. The Athena Choice, direct from Greece. This is a big, big olive, great for the table, great for oil, great for the home garden. A big olive, Athena Choice, $10.90. Is that $10.99? Hang on, $12.99. $12.99. So $12.99. A 1 meter tall olive, big fruit, $12.99. Now, if you're wanting a big fruit tree that get into action quickly, here it is, a William Boncretin. A William Boncretin is a great table pear, great cooking pear, really good classic European pear. And for something like this, most nurseries you'd be paying $120, $130, $140. We sell these for $110, but right now we're going to do this for you for $19.90. So $19.90 for a really big, 2 meter tall William Boncretin pear. Now let's do both blueberries at once. So we've got some blueberries here. Now these are big bushes, beautiful big bushes. Look at the size of this bush here. Now mostly you'd be paying $20 for a bush like that. These are really good bushes. We've got two different ones. We've got the blue rose and the sunshine blue. Now, and one thing you'll see here is that blueberries, before they lose their leaves, have fabulous autumn colour. And that's the thing, blueberries are a very, very attractive bush. They have lovely flowers in spring, beautiful autumn colour, lovely fine foliage in the summer, nice compact bushy kind of a bush, and they have blueberries. And we've got these really, really cheap, normally $15.99. We've got big bushy blueberries for $9.99. You try and beat that price anywhere else. I don't think you'd even get that at Manning's, do you?
Oh, Manning's, nah. I don't think he's got it.
No.
No.
No. $9.99. You could go out and you could look all day, or you could just head down to Hello Hello.
Absolutely.
And get your big bushy blueberries for $9.99.
Hey Chris, I noticed that Sam Convey has joined us on Instagram, and I want to send a shout out to Sam Convey, and I hope that he's following his horticultural and landscape design journey.
Great, okay, hiya Sam. Thanks for tuning in, we appreciate it. Now here we have, what do we have here? We've got Acacia Limelight, 3 foot standard, but this is more like a 4 footer. Beautiful big head. Now these are a little bit hard to get around town at the moment, but I secured quite a big heap of them, and we've got a number of these, and we're going to let a few of them go. They're normally $199.99, $179.99. Now what's good about these is that they're a nice weeping tree. They're never going to grow too big. You can grow these in a pot, you can grow them in a small garden, you could grow them in a sort of a classic European style garden, and it wouldn't look out of place. You could grow them in a native garden. They're actually a native plant. But what's good about them is that where your weeping cherry loses its leaves, these stay evergreen. You can trim them. They could grow a metre tall and half a metre tall and hang down a little bit, but that was too big. You just trim. They love to be trimmed, and the more you trim them, the bushier and lusher and more wonderful they look. So Acacia Limelight, 3 foot standard, not $199 but $179.99. I think if you look at the size and quality of these, you will not do better anywhere in Melbourne than these ones here at $179.99. But there's only 4 of them available. So there's 2 people could buy a pair, or 4 people could buy one, or 2 people could buy one and 1 person could buy a pair. So there we are, $179.99.
Convenient.
Yeah. Now here we've got your autumn red maple. This is your Acer rubrum. This is one of the most sought after maples around the place, and this one here has been reduced from a lot of money down to $39.99. So $39.99. That's a really good maple. It's almost 6 foot tall and just $39.99. Now this is a fabulous one. This is called Emerald Sunset. Now a friend of mine discovered this. What happened was he used to collect a bit of seed from different maples growing around the place, and he collected some Asakasuki seed. Now Asakasuki is one of the best and most sought after Japanese maples. It has fantastic red autumn colour, a sort of a big leaf, very horizontal in its habit. But what he discovered was a chance seedling that had amazing, in springtime the foliage was golden with amazing red tips, as you see in that picture there. So that's your Emerald Sunset. And then it has incredible, it's sort of a biggish Japanese maple leaf, lovely spreading habit, and amazing red autumn colour, probably the best red autumn colour of any maple. So Emerald Sunset maple, and this is a beautiful one. It's about 2.5 metres tall, and it's going out for $129.99. $129.99. If you've got an interesting maple collection and you want to add one more really interesting maple, and you don't want to spend a fortune, $129.99, over 2 metres tall, Emerald Sunset, a type of Asakasuki. Asakasuki, in my opinion, the best autumn colour Japanese maple of the lot. Now here we've got a Jeffers Red Maple. Now your Jeffers Red Maple is one of, and this one here has been reduced to from a lot of money down to $39.99. So $39.99, it was a fortune, but it's now $39.99. Now what you'll find about Jeffers Red is as red as any of the other red maples, but if you're in hot country, this will outperform the red maple by a mile. It's very fast growing, beautiful shape, fast growing, lovely shape, grows in poor soil, takes heat, basically, it's a kind of like a lowland red maple. So if you might live in Shepparton or Bendigo or somewhere like that, and you may not have done that good with the red maple, but you've always wanted a red maple, get a Jeffers Red and it will thrive in hot, difficult conditions and poor soil. So Jeffers Red Maple, $39.99, about 6 foot tall, great value. Now here we have a bare-rooted Senkaki maple. Now this is about a 12-inch pot size Senkaki, so beautiful. It's a grafted Senkaki. It's going to have fabulous red stems. Now in a 12-inch pot, Senkaki is normally 150 to 189 or something like that. So they're getting up around, they're chasing $200. But if you buy one bare-rooted, these are $69.99, so you can save about $100 buying one of these. So really you do very, very well. Senkaki maple, $69.99, bare-rooted, and it's been freshly dug. A mate of mine grew them in this paddock, dug them up. They're freshly dug, handled really, really well. Great ones, and you save $100. Now here we have a Japanese maple. The Japanese maple is 6 foot tall. It's a seedling Japanese maple. Now, 6 foot Japanese maple, a lot of places you might pay $40, $50, $60. These are $10.99. So $10.99 seedling Japanese maple. Now if you're watching this show and you're wondering how do you get this stuff, like we've got all our specials, go here, scan, click on here, go to the Hello website and you can see all of our specials. All of our specials for today are there. And if you put together a $300 order, you've got free delivery over half of Victoria, from Bendigo to Traralgon, from Geelong up to Shepparton, free delivery over most of Victoria when you spend over $300, and a free weeping cherry. And you can go online and buy, you can go on the phone and buy, you can come in here and buy. So there's multiple ways to buy. Go on our website and anybody can buy, get free delivery, get a free weeping cherry. And what it is, we're working on keeping busy in these cold, quiet winter months so that we're ready to really take it on in springtime.
Chris, this must be the deal of the day.
Well, this is a fabulous deal. This is a Japanese maple, and one like this, it'd be 9 or 10 years old from seed. It's a beautiful big... Now, if you've been chasing an advanced Japanese maple, this has been reduced from $399 to $299. Now, what's interesting about this, if you bought this one here, you could get free delivery and a free weeping cherry.
Whoa.
Because it's just on that $300
Yep.
on that $300 thing. So you could see this, you could ring up and grab this one here, $299. And
you can get yourself a couple of scleranthus for around the base of that. That would really set this off.
Yeah, and Japanese maples are wonderful plants. They have lovely soft green foliage in spring, lovely, beautiful, delicate foliage through the summer. In autumn, you've got red, yellow, orange, you've got every colour happening on them in the autumn. And they're a beautiful shaped tree, inoffensive root system, never get too big. They're for the modern garden where people are wanting trees that aren't too big, you really can't go past the Japanese maple. And if you want your garden to look big and full and complete, $299 gets you this 2.5 metre Japanese maple. Fantastic.
I mean, that's the garden all ready to go. Wonderful bargain.
Now here's a great little deal here. This is your sugar maple. Now your sugar maple has this amazing sort of burnt orange autumn colour, incredible autumn colour, lovely big leaf. Takes a couple of years to get going. In summer, beautiful. It has a beautiful shaped green leaf, and then look at the autumn leaf. It's a really, really pretty autumn leaf. And these ones here are not expensive. These sugar maples here are $14.99. So $14.99, and you can put a rare and wonderful maple in your garden. And this is the maple that they make the maple syrup for your pancakes. So you could go off the grid with pancakes.
In about 40 years' time.
In about 40 years' time, yeah, that's right. So it's all there. Sugar maple, $14.99. Now here we've got a magnificent weeping birch. Now the chap who grows these grows them in a paddock for 2 or 3 years, then lifts them up, puts them in this pot here for a year, and this gives you a mature weeping birch. Now, if you bought a little skinny one that was bare rooted, it might take you 10 years to get something looking this good. This is going to look absolutely fabulous in the summer. A weeping silver birch. This is called a Butler Iveyi, and this one here has been reduced from $7.99 to, that's $300 off, to $499. And so no weight, like if you wanted a centerpiece for a courtyard or a centerpiece for your backyard or your front yard, weeping silver birch, Iveyi, a gorgeous, fabulous tree at $4.99. And that would include a free delivery over most of Victoria and a free weeping cherry chucked in on the side. So there we are, a advanced weeping silver birch, $499. Now, silver birches are one of my favourite trees. Silver birch have a beautiful white trunk. They're fast growing. Silver birches have a beautiful white trunk. They're fast growing, really beautiful plants. And we've got and what's interesting, if you planted these and looked after them, see these trees we've got in the background here, you could produce trees like this in a matter of 4 or 5 years. What's great about silver birch is that they've been designed by nature to colonise an area that's been stripped bare by a glacier or stripped bare by a bushfire or an earthquake or landslide or something like that. So areas that have been stripped where the seed blows across, up they pop, and they cover an area and they're designed to cover an area really quickly. So if you planted these and watered and fertilised them well, it will be nothing to have them up 5 metres in 2 years with a white trunk. So they're a great. If you wanted to kind of create a big, fabulous effect very, very quickly, they hate grass around the roots, they hate weeds around the roots, they love water, they love a bit of mulch around the base of them, regular small doses of fertiliser, but you could grow beautiful 5 metre white trunk silver birches in 2 years with these, and these ones here are $10.99, so $10.99, no, $9.99 for bare-rooted silver birches. Now this is a new deal in. These are Queensland bottle trees, and they are reduced from $39.99 to $22.99. So one like this from seed would be quite old, and only $22.99. So what a fabulous deal. And this is a Queensland bottle tree. That'll eventually look like that. Fabulous, fabulous Queensland bottle trees, $22.99. Now here we've got one of my favourite trees. This is a fastigiate hornbeam, and these grow, there's a shortage of trees out there that are skinny. Lots of people got skinny garden beds, little tiny backyards, and your hornbeam grows tall and skinny. These will grow 4 or 5 or 6 metres tall and only a metre or so wide. They love being trimmed. They can be trimmed and shaped, and beautiful, beautiful plant. And they are just $29.99. So if you want a tall, skinny tree, this is like the pencil pine of the deciduous tree world. Lovely burnt orange autumn colour, lovely foliage, really beautiful tree, tall and skinny. You can see how they're growing here. Like they grow a bit like Lombardy poplars, but they look really classy. You see these in the most classy and expensive gardens in Melbourne, and normally they're very, very expensive. These ones here are 1.5 metres tall and $29.99 for a fastigiata hornbeam. Now here we've got an 8-inch pot ginkgo. So your 8-inch pot ginkgo, about 3 foot tall, and you know, from seed, like from the planted nut, you've got 1, 2, 3. This is 4 years old from a nut. So there you are. And ginkgos do grow from a nut. When I was in China, I used to they used to serve northern China. They're one of their favourite desserts. Is they use what is it? Sort of like mandarin juice with honey and ginkgo nuts floating in it as a sort of a sweet soup at the end of the meal. Beautiful, wow. Beautiful nut. And anyway, so here you have your ginkgo, and this ginkgo, 4 years old from a nut, and it is Maidenhairpin tree. It is $22.99. So you've had a nurseryman looking after this for 4 years for $22.99. Wow.
So we're flying through the list here today, and if you've joined us, you've come late to the piece.
Yeah, spot it around.
What we're doing is we're going through and showcasing our top 100 discounted plants for the week. And if you want to jump onto any of these bargains that you see here today, because the numbers are limited, we've cut some pretty good deals with the growers just so that we could get some good prices to you. And if you want to jump onto the few that we've got around, you can scan the QR code that's up on the screen, or you can click the link that's in our pinned comments on any of the chats, whatever platform you're streaming in on, and that will take you straight to our sales page where you can find all these prices and
Yeah.
You have
And
yourself a bargain.
Spend over $300 and get the free weeping cherries are on me. We're giving away hundreds of weeping cherries. So free weeping cherries on me when you spend over $300. And over most of Victoria, from Terrelgan up to Shepparton, down Narrawarra, down Geelong, out in Yea, up in Bendigo, Ballarat, Geelong, down the Surf Coast, $300, spend $300 and get a free delivery. And a free weeping cherry. But look at this, what we've got here is a Grevillea humifusa, and it has the most beautiful soft bluey green foliage and the most gorgeous little red flowers. Look at that, just covered in flowers. It's going to flower for months and months and months. Grevillea humifusa. It's a grafted standard weeper, so this is an evergreen weeper, and it's reduced from $199.99 to $179.99. A great feature for a native garden, really a great feature for any garden. Beautiful winter flowers, Grevillea humifusa. Now here we have a Natchez crepe myrtle. Now what happened is that often what nurserymen do is that they grow these Natchez crepe myrtles as a tall straight stick for street plantings. And anyway, I was complaining to a mate of mine who grows a few trees, and anyway he said he'd grow me a couple. That was 5 years ago. He said he'd grow me a couple that were low branch or multi-trunked or multi-branch. And here's one here, 5 years later, there it is, a beautiful, this is going to be covered in white flowers in summer. So if you wanted one of these that was really like a sculpture, it's going to get beautiful. We've got lovely videos out about these because they have beautiful bark in the winter, beautiful summer blossom, white summer blossom, and then amazing red autumn colour. So they're an amazing tree to have in the garden. If you've got a little townhouse and you only fit one tree, this could be the right tree for you because you've got blossom, you've got autumn colour, you've got beautiful bark, beautiful shape, really classic looking tree. And these Natchez multi-stemmed reduced from $6.99 to $499, and this is an instant sculpture that's just going to fill your garden with flowers, autumn colour, and beautiful bark and beautiful trunk. And $499, and that would include delivery over most of Victoria. Now here we have a Natchez crepe myrtle, and if you want to grow an amazing classic Natchez yourself with the beautiful white blossom in summer, the fabulous autumn colour and the beautiful bark on it, this one here is only $49.99. $49.99, 6 foot tall, a great way to get going with one of these. Now, here's another white flowering. Now, this is almost fully grown. This here is an Acoma crepe myrtle, and your Acoma is a miniature one. It grows about 3 metres tall, so it's only a 3 metre tree. And what it is, normally when you buy one, they're only like a metre tall and 5 years old because they're so slow growing. This one here is a beautiful old developed tree, and it is $99, and I've never had such big ones so cheap. $99 for an Acoma crepe myrtle. Now, if you've ever thought of taking a trip down to Hello Hello, now's the time to do it, and here's the proof why. What you'll find at Hello Hello is you'll find an incredible mixture of plants. You'll find little tiny plants for $1 or $2. You'll find an amazing things, like things that you wouldn't see big beautiful things that you wouldn't see at, say, at Manning's, that they wouldn't have them in Manning's. We sort of have small and cheap. We have the middle size, the bigger size, and then the mind-blowing size. Now this one here, this is a Myrtus luma topiary, and here you see it up on the big screen behind me. But here it is here. This is a sculpture that's been years in the making, and we're going to let one of them go. We have quite a few of these here, but we're going to let one of them go on the cheap. Let's have a look here. Myrtus luma, 70 litre cloud prune, normally $1,200. We're reducing this, normally $2,000. It's going out for $1,299, and this would be, have a look at it, we'll rotate it round. This would be something that if you had a courtyard, maybe you had a great big pot. We put one of these in a great big pot for a guy recently with some nice Zen moss around it. But this is something that you could turn a boring space into an exciting work of art. This is a living sculpture, and where else could you get such a big and beautiful sculpture for $1,299? We've got lots of these, but only one, this one here, $1,299. This one here is available for somebody at our Grower Direct flash sale.
That's very generous of you. Very generous of you. So there's only one of these?
Only one available at this price.
So if you're dead keen for it, get in quick.
Yeah, it's part of our philosophy of keeping our vans and trucks moving and our staff working and keeping busy, ready for spring in these cold, miserable months when people don't really want to get out and do anything much in the garden.
Beautiful.
We're making it so that people can't refuse. So there it is, $1,299 reduced from $2,000. Myrtus Lumera Cloud Parentopia. Now the wonderful thing about Myrtus Lumera is when you touch the foliage, it's fabulously fragrant. And then in summertime, for months and months and months, those round green balls are dotted with little starry white flowers, really beautiful little starry white flowers. So now let's have a look. Where are we now? We are
Chinese pistachio.
Here we have the Chinese pistachio tree. Now that's it there. We made a video about these and put up on the web. Beautiful autumn colour tree, fabulous bright red autumn colour. My dad used to say that this was one of the best autumn colour trees in the world. But the other good thing about this is a medium-sized tree. It's not a big tree, so if you want a tree that doesn't get too big, if you want a really hardy tree, if you want a frost-hardy, poor soil-hardy, drought-hardy, wind-hardy tree that had beautiful, delicate foliage that didn't grow too big, Pistachio chinensis with the bonus of fantastic autumn colour in the autumn. And this one here reduced from $249.99 to $99. $99, 6 foot tall Pistachio chinensis. Now here is a fabulous tree. This is a silver maple. Now your silver, and it's a weeping silver maple, and this will grow up a bit and it'll come over and cascade down. So there it is there, your weeping silver maple, beautiful white blossom in spring, lovely sort of silvery foliage, sometimes called a Pyrus salicifolia.
That's it. And it's a weeping, it's a pear.
Yeah. Right, yeah, it's a ornamental pear. What was I saying?
You said maple, but that's okay.
Yeah, so weeping.
Suman and I knew what you were talking about.
Weeping silver pear, Pyrus salicifolia. At any rate, but if you wanted a tree that doesn't grow too big with amazing silver foliage, and a great way to get a classic look in your garden is to plant a golden tree, like a ginkgo with beautiful golden foliage, a purple tree like a purple beech or a purple maple or something like that, and then a silver tree like this weeping silver pear. And if you put those three colours together, like there you see your red, your silver and your gold there, you see in that picture there, but it gives you that classic, that's the way to make your garden into an incredible classic, is combine silver, purple and gold. So there it is there. And so the silver pear, and the thing is normally a 2 metre silver pear might set you back a fortune. This one, that silver pear is $99. Now if you want to plant a tree for the future, something that's going to get better and better, something that's going to look great in 20 years, amazing in 60 years, mind-blowing in 100 years, an English oak. English oaks are beautiful trees. They're part of our culture, part of our heritage. And they're a simple, beautiful, wonderful, large spreading tree. And to get a nice one could be quite difficult. This is probably one of the best ones I've ever seen in a pot. It's 2.5 metres tall and it's $99. So at $99 you could afford to plant an avenue of these or a forest of these or a copse of these. Beautiful English oaks, wonderful classic tree, $99.
It's a real legacy plant. You know, Chris, a friend recently, his daughter got married, and he was able to facilitate the whole wedding underneath the canopy of the oak tree.
Yeah,
what a beautiful place to get married.
Yeah, that's right. They're a wonderful tree. A wonderful tree. You plant one now, and 30 or 40 years from now, the whole family could get married underneath it. Yeah. So there we are. So Robinia mop top. Now, if you want to have something that converts your property looking from bare and naked to established overnight, this is it. This mop top tree, a year from now, the trunk will be as thick as my arm, and the head on this could be 1.5 meters, 2 meters round. So amazing tree. You can grow a tree like that in probably 2 years. So amazing tree and wind hardy, drought hardy, poor soil hardy. Doesn't like wet feet though. So don't plant it in a swampy hollow or mount it up if it's a bit swampy. But your mop top is the tree to have, and it's only $149.99 for a beautiful advanced 2.5 meter mop top, lovely thick trunk, beautiful head on it. You couldn't go wrong with that at $149.99. Now here we have a Celtic Cascade in a 20-inch pot. And it's a beautiful established Celtic Cascade, and these make the most beautiful weeping tree. Beautiful and green and lush, fabulous classic looking weeping tree that doesn't get too big. Plant this in a swampy hollow and it'll be happy, like it doesn't mind. I once dug a hole and it filled with water, and I popped one of these in it, covered it over, and a year later the guy said, gee, that tree you planted just did fantastic. So it was basically growing in water. So there it is, your Celtic Cascade, beautiful weeping tree, lovely green foliage. A real garden classic, and this is an advanced one, lovely thick trunk, great big head on it, and instead of paying $2.99 you can get this one here for $1.99. We've only got 3 of these available at $1.99. Now if you're the sort of person that likes Japanese maples, you're going to love Japanese elms. Japanese elms have the most beautiful foliage, fabulous autumn colour, but what's good about them is to look at the beautiful leaf on the Japanese elm tree there. So they have beautiful foliage, beautiful autumn colour, but they grow fast and they're tough, and they'll grow. You can pick the most windswept, difficult sites and plant these, and with just the tiniest bit of care, they'll flourish and thrive and grow really quickly into a beautiful big spreading tree. So Japanese elms, and these ones here are amazing. They're 6 foot tall and they're $14.99. So $14.99 for a beautiful Japanese elm. Now look at these grasses. These grasses have been reduced to $3.99, and these are frosted curls. They're a beautiful little grass. They're a fabulous little grass to have. Great for mass planting in a modern landscape. Great in that sort of coastal landscape. Or maybe you're doing up a house and putting it on the market, but at $3.99 you really can't go wrong with frosted curls. So here we've got your Dianella Breeze. Dianella Breeze, beautiful, big, great value for money grass. If you're, maybe doing a commercial landscape, if you're a landscaper, you can't go wrong with these at $8.99. So $8.99 for Dianella Breeze, fabulous value. Dianella Compact Blue, 8-inch pot, just $9.99. You cannot go wrong with those. So you'll maybe fixing up some property to go on the market in spring, maybe finish off some units, doing a petrol station, a factory, $9.99, big and bushy, great value. Blue Fescue, $6, Elijah Blue Fescue, $6.99. These are a lovely little compact blue fescue, really, really lovely. You haven't got them up on the screen yet, but anyway, they're a great little, if you want for a border or a mass planting, Elijah Blue. Let's see, there it is, that's your Elijah Blue there. Lovely compact little blue grass, really, really nice, great for mass planting, and these are really, really cheap. Your Elijah Blue is reduced from $13.99 to $6.99, so $6.99 for your 6-inch Elijah Blue. So here's your variegated Mondo grass. So variegated Mondo grass, great value. We've got them here for $10.99. Now these grow, have a close look at it, really wonderful plant. these will grow. These will grow in the sun or the shade, and they're lovely and bright, and they really brighten an area up. And in the 6-inch pot, that's a 6-inch pot there, they're just $10.99. So $10.99, really good value for doing your garden, planting a border, planting them in the shade, planting them in the sun, very, very versatile. Now, we had a load of these birds of paradise come in from up north, and they're really, really good value. These ones here, 8-inch pots, are reduced from $29.99 to $21.99, and they're a really wonderful, good size. $21.99 and a great size. So these are your classic birds of paradise, $21.99. Got a nice big one. Yeah. So one of the best sort of border plants around is your variegated society garlic, and they have beautiful blue flowers, as you see here, for 6 months of the year. They don't grow too tall. They're one of the, if you want a border, if you want the lowest maintenance, prettiest border you can get, there it is there. Have a look at that there. Variegated society garlic. There's a nice big plant there. They have, and when they're not flowering, you've got this really beautiful foliage. Have a look at it. So you've got, there's a beat up sort of winter flower, but that's the foliage there. And so variegated society, and the thing is, we sell them in 3-inch pots. Here they are here in a 3-inch pot. Variegated society garlic, and they are
$4.99.
$4.99. So at $4.99, you can afford to plant a border of them. You'll find them incredibly hardy. They need very little water. They need very little anything. Amazingly hardy. If you live in Shepparton or Bendigo or something like that, you'll find these really easy to look after, and they'll flourish in the toughest situation.
So we're getting towards the end of our 100 top bargains of the week.
Yeah. Now here is a fabulous thing. Look at this beautiful lush green. Now you might be going to put some property on the market this spring, or maybe you're just doing a place up, maybe you just want to block out the neighbours. This one here is called green screen, and it's a lily pilly. And what's good about it is a lot of lily pillies are worried by different bugs and things like that. There's psyllids and various bugs eating it. No bugs eat this. The bugs don't touch it. It's bug resistant, it's disease resistant, it grows fast, it's tough, and it's called green screen. And often you'd pay $150, $160, $180 for something this size here. These are $99, so you can afford to block out the neighbours. You don't get, and when you spend over $300, we've got free delivery over most of Victoria. You'll also find that these particular variety is particularly frost hardy, so quite frost hardy. $99, 6 foot tall, green screen. Now here, look at this. This is your Leighton's green, and these ones here are pretty much almost 6 foot tall, and they are only $34.99. $34.99. Now if you want a fast growing, tough screen to screen out the neighbours, maybe there's a railway line or a freeway at the back of your place and you want something that'll block sound, block dirt, block everything, plant a row of these. These are fast growing, they're tough, and they will block out and they will screen you and they'll protect. If you've got a dusty road at the front, these will suck up the dust. Plant them out the front. They're fast, they're tough, and they're big, and they're cheap. They're $34.99, so $34.99, 6 foot tall. Leighton's green cypress. Now here we've got 3-inch pot Ligustrum undulatum. Now these ones here, this is a great time to buy and plant them. These are nice gutsy little plants, so have a look at that there. Nice gutsy little plants. Now these create a sort of an English box style hedge, but these could be 1 metre tall. These ones here, with plenty of water, plenty of fertiliser, by the end of summer these could be 1 metre tall. And if you've got a big round driveway on a country property or something like that, a 1 metre tall green box hedge will transform your property. So you could transform your property into a classy looking place in maybe 9 or 10 months. 9 or 10 months. So box leaf privet, $3.99. So $3.99, plant 3 or 4 to the metre and you'll be in business. Now what we have here, we have the cousin of the little gem. And we call this the big gem, or otherwise we call it the Xmas. Now this has large foliage, and in summer it has great big white fragrant flowers, amazing big white fragrant flowers that will fill your garden with fragrance. Now these are fast growing, much faster growing than the little gem. They'll very quickly make a 3 or 4 metre tall evergreen plant. Big white flowers as you see there, amazing fragrance, 3 or 4 metre plant in no time at all. So this is the magnolia to block out the neighbours with. This is the one to block out. It's a fantastic one. It's called, I call them Big Gem, or I call them Xmas, and they're not expensive. These ones here reduced from $36.99 to $16.99. So $16.99 for the Big Gem magnolia. Wow, look at this plant here. Now one of my favourite plants is the orange jessamine. Now orange jessamine, people often ask me what is the best plant to put a bit of fragrance in my garden, and I think it is orange jessamine without question. Now look at these little starry white flowers. They are the most favourite. Now what happens as soon as you start getting warm nights in Melbourne, these will start flowering. So warm nights in Melbourne normally start end of September into October sometime, maybe middle of October. You're definitely going to be having warm nights, and you'll have your orange jessamine, which can be grown into a hedge, grown as a specimen, trimmed into a beautiful round ball, grown in a pot, grown in a garden. Very, very versatile, blocking out the neighbours maybe, but beautiful evergreen, little white flowers, incredible fragrance, and then they will flower and flower and flower and flower until the warm nights finish. Like this year, the warm nights finished in mid-May. So these will flower right through from mid-October to mid-May and fill your garden with fragrance. So beautiful plant to fill your garden with fragrance, orange jessamine. Now these are a great price. These are reduced from $99 to $69.99. So $69.99 for orange jessamine. Now one of the most popular photinias on the market is the red robin. The red robin, beautiful bright red new growth, tough, fast growing, and people like it because it doesn't flower nearly as much as the robusta, and the robusta has a bit of a pongy sort of a flower in springtime. So this one, very few flowers, nice green foliage with bright red new growth, and these are big, these are really big. These are 8-inch pots, and they're 5 foot tall, and they're $21.99, reduced from $31.99, $10 knocked off them down to $21.99. So $21.99 for 5 foot tall red robin photinia. Tough, fast, colourful. Now, a lot of people, it's been a cold winter, a lot of people have had frost damage on their photinia, on their lily pillies and their ficuses. The great thing about this, if you live in a bit of a frost zone, on a frosty night, you're not worried about getting up in the morning and having your hedge all frostburnt. This will take the frost. Red robin, 5 foot tall, $21.99, tough and frost hardy. Now we've got our standard resilience lily pilly, reduced from $99 to $89.99. Now if you were to grow these in a pot or grow them up the garden path, look how lush and beautiful the head. Look at the head on that, look at that. Beautiful and lush. Absolutely fabulous, really beautiful, immediate impact. Maybe you're putting some property on the market and you need something at the front gate to look really, really smart. Say, hey, my property's classy, $89.99, beautiful, advanced, standard lily pilly, $89.99, lily pilly, resistant standard, $89.99. Now here we've got beautiful sweet viburnum, and they're reduced from $69.99 to $39.99. So $39.99 for beautiful 10-inch pot sweet viburnum. Look at the size of those, beautiful. Now with a spring growth, these are going to double in size this spring. So if you're wanting to block out the neighbours, if you want to cover up an ugly fence, if you've got something ugly you want to cover up, these ones here at $39.99, you cannot go wrong. They're a good size. Look, they're up to they're about 1.2 metres tall. So 1.2 metres tall, $39.99, sweet viburnum. Now, One of the areas where sweet viburnum is good, if you've got a shady spot, these are great in the shade. So really, really good in the shade. Sweet viburnum, great for the shade. I plant these with confidence in the shady spot. They're one of the best hedges to grow where you've got a big tree in the middle of your property and you've got to grow a hedge underneath. Sweet viburnum is the answer. So sweet viburnum for the shade, sweet viburnum when you're in competition with other trees and things. Sweet viburnum, fabulous hedge, fast growing, easy to grow, and big ones here for $39.99. Now, this is your weeping lily pilly, and this in a hot sunny. If you've got a hot sunny spot, this is one of the fastest way to block out the neighbours. This is capable with plenty of water and fertiliser of growing 1.5 metres in the next year, and this one here has been reduced from $229.99 to $189.99. So $189.99. And they're beautiful big advanced plants, $189.99. Can't go wrong, weeping lily pilly. So here we've got an English box ball reduced from $2.99 to $119.99. So $119.99. And these are years and years old, and they're trimmed into a ball, and with a spring growth it's going to look absolutely fabulous. And at $119 you cannot go wrong. Normally people are charging $200 and $300 for these. So instead of paying $200 or $300, $119.99 for a nice big 16-inch pot English box ball. Now have a look here, tractor seats. Now tractor seats have been a bit hard to get around Melbourne. These are beautiful big, they're the best 6-inch pots I've ever seen. Look at this plant here, absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Look at this beautiful tractor seat here. And these, and tractor seats, you know, around town they're costing 30 and 40 and 50 bucks. These are from a good grower, really beautiful quality tractor seats. And these ones here are $17.99. So $17.99 for some of the best looking tractor seats you've ever seen. These love a shady corner. They've got big luscious foliage, wonderful plants to have. Tractor seats, and they are just $17.99. Have we got a nice Japanese black pine? This is the first one. Yeah, right, okay. Okay. So what we have here is a Japanese black pine. So your Japanese black pine, if you want to do a classic sort of black pine, we should show them. Let's do the next one. Let's show them a nice black pine. We'll go at let's have a look at it. You know, one of them nice ones out there, one of them 90-litre ones or something like that. Where's our pots? We'll do the pots while we're waiting.
Chris, this might be a good time to remind everyone that's tuned in that we have a Q&A session with you on Mondays.
That's right. If you want to ask me a question, and it could be a question about anything, but about gardening in particular.
Life advice.
Actually, I'm happy to talk about anything really. But yeah, so you could have. So here's a miniature Japanese black pine. Gives you a bit of an idea. We'll put that other one up here. That's a miniature Japanese black pine. But Japanese black pine's grown the most gorgeous. This one here could be trimmed and trained and turned into a sort of a Japanese classic. And it's something you could do it like a bit of a hobby. But basically, if you go to Japan and look at gardens, or go online and look at Japanese gardens, what you'll see, almost every traditional Japanese garden has got a beautifully shaped pine tree. And so you get a beautifully shaped, so you can turn this into a beautiful garden classic. I mean, you just have to look at this label here and see what you could turn your Japanese black pine into. So look at that there, Japanese black pine. Beautiful garden classic. And yeah, that's your Japanese black pine. And so your Japanese black pine has gone down from $39.99 to $29.99. So $29.99. And your black pine is the one that has these beautiful white candles. You see this one here starting to get your white candles, luscious green foliage, beautiful plant. And then you've got, now we've got it, we'll get rid of those. And now we've got Lime Creek egg pot, and this whole set here. If you were to buy one great big pot here, you'd expect to pay $150 or something like that for it. And this is a Lime Creek. It's sort of a lightweight pot, And what the great thing about these is they haven't got a hole in them. So you can take these and you can put them indoors and you can put your plants in there and they're not going to wet the carpet or wet the wooden floor. And these ones here, the whole set of 3 is $129.99. So $129.99 for a set of lime creep pots with no holes in them. If you want to put them outside in the garden and grow something special out there, maybe a Japanese black pine, you can drill a hole. But these come without the hole because the hardest thing is to plug a hole. So you don't have to plug the hole to put them indoors, but you do have to drill the hole to put them outside if you want to put them outside. So lime creep, beautiful, classic looking, very modern, smart looking, and hard wearing pots, $129.99. So there we are, that's it for the day.
That's it for the day. Now, Chris, as we were saying before, you do a live Q&A session every Monday at 12 o'clock.
That's right.
High noon.
Yeah, high
That's
noon.
right.
And what we do is we're on all the popular platforms, and so come to us on your favourite platform, and TikTok. What have we got? TikTok,
Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram.
Yeah, so you can come to us on any one of those platforms and ask me any sort of gardening question, and we'll answer it for you, and you'll find it very educational.
Absolutely, you could learn a lot. So we also have, of course, for anybody who's buying over $300 worth of plants, you'll get free delivery to a whole range of places around Victoria.
And the weeping cherries are on me. So there we are, the weeping cherries on me. What we have here is a low grafted pink weeping cherry and a tall grafted white weeping cherry, and we're giving these away. What it is, it's cold and miserable at this time of year, and people are a bit tempted to stay at home. They're not going out in the garden, they're not coming down to the nursery that much. And so we're trying to reverse the trend, because I didn't want my staff to become, we've got six vans on the road, I didn't want them to become, I don't know how to say it properly, sedentary.
Sedentary.
Yeah, sedentary. Like, we were sitting around and there was nobody here buying any plants, and we had nothing to deliver. They'd just be sitting here looking at each other and shivering in the cold. So what I did is I decided to give away hundreds and hundreds of weeping cherries, thousands and thousands of dollars worth of weeping cherries for free.
Yeah.
And so what I did is I said, if you spend over $300, you can get free delivery over most of Victoria and a free weeping cherry.
Now, what kinds of weeping cherries are we talking about? Because I think you can see some really good examples that are in front of you, but obviously they don't have flowers, they don't have leaves at this time of year. So what are people expecting? White flowers, pink flowers?
Well, they've got to say what they want. You can get pink ones short and tall, and you get white ones short and tall. So pink ones short and tall, white ones short and tall. And that's basically it. And they have white blossom. We've got a short white one here. Look at this. This is if you had it. This is called falling snow. Now, if you had a small garden bed or a great big pot, this would be a fabulous thing to have, because some of the big ones can be in certain situations. The big ones are just too big, and these little ones. These days, I find the little ones are very highly sought after.
Yes.
And so we're giving away both sorts, and we're giving them away for free when you spend over $300. And it's to keep our vans moving and our orders people processing orders and our sales people picking up that phone and taking orders. And how could a person spend $300? How could you come here? What would you have to do to spend? You could explain how a person can spend $300.
Well, the best thing that you could do is book in for one of our free garden design sessions. Chris and I will sit down and we'll assess your site, and we'll look at all the plants that you might need. All you need to do is hobble together $300 worth of plants, which, you could get yourself a couple nice tall trees and from today's sale. And
so what you're saying, let's get this right, so a person could get a free weeping cherry, a free delivery, and a free garden design.
And a free garden design.
That's unbelievable.
It is.
Yeah.
You won't get that anywhere else.
No.
Yeah, so and we do we have garden design sessions 4 days a week at this time of the year. And we've got plenty of sessions that are available. We conduct Zoom sessions. If you live in far-flung places, that's probably really appropriate for you. We had one of the members on our chat today. She's in Murray Bateman, and she had a session with us earlier in the week. We had Peter from up in Cobram.
Yeah.
He had a Zoom with us this week.
He brought the missus and the kids down for the session.
That's right. Sorry, it wasn't a Zoom. We did that.
Yeah, that's right, yeah. So, people are coming in from all over Victoria to get one of these free garden designs.
Yep, and Chris and I, we work to your budget. We make sure that we understand your site conditions. So if you're up in the river belt and you got really tough dry conditions, then we'll find the toughest, hardiest plants for you, the things that look most spectacular all year round.
So we had a lady in from Keilor this morning. We designed a very kind of exciting front garden for her. How much did the plants for her front garden cost?
Oh, it was a 15th over $500.
Yeah, so there we are. She came in, she got a free garden design and spent just over $500. And we did something that kind of, the front of her place was a little bit, and when that goes in and grows, her garden's going to be absolutely fabulous.
That's right. So Sarah Sear is on Instagram and said that sounds like amazing service. And that's what we aim to achieve. We aim to give you amazing service. And I think free weeping cherries, free delivery, free garden designs. What more do you want?
But the free weeping cherries are not here for the rest of your life, are they?
No, they're not.
They're
bare rooted.
They're here for for this cold, miserable weather where we need to keep our vans moving. We're giving away thousands of dollars worth of them, and we couldn't do it all year round. It's just right now when it's a bit quiet, a bit cold, and we're making people an offer they can't refuse, so that they go to the nursery and they get out in the garden, or they ring up or go online and get moving in the garden, and we've really done our best to get people doing it, and it's working. There's quite a few people even in today, isn't there?
Yeah, absolutely. The nursery's been very busy. So Sarah's back, and she's asked, does the garden design service cater for just one part of the garden, or could it be both the front and the backyard?
Well, it really depends. What we do is we pay a deposit, and then you get the deposit back when you buy your plants. It's a $100 deposit for a 45-minute, and if it's not too complex, we can normally do a front and a back in 45 minutes.
Yeah, we're pretty quick at this.
Yeah, and but sometimes, like on a big 1 acre block, sophisticated needs, you might only get the front done sometimes. You know, it depends on the situation a little bit. And it also depends on your ability. If you can work out what you want beforehand and make decisions quickly, you get a lot more out of that session.
Yeah.
The person who knows what they want, who worked out what they wanted, and we design to what they want, they make decisions quickly, they get more for their money. But say you just had a garden bed or a little front yard or something like that, you can get a 20-minute one, and we take a $45 deposit. You spend $250, you got it back at the end. And at a 20-minute one, I could do a nice big garden bed, or I could do a simple front yard.
Yep. And we're conscious of all the things that we've got on sale every time we do these garden design sessions. So we always give you the best value that we possibly can.
That's right. We know what's on the flash sale and what's not, and wherever possible, we'll use items from the flash sale. Maybe use the free weeping cherry as your centerpiece. You know, so we really work it so that people can get the best out of our nursery.
Absolutely. Now, if somebody has a very large garden, as you said, and it would take a bit more than 45 minutes to do, you can give us a call and we can tailor a session to meet your needs.
Yeah.
And we really enjoy when people do come here to see us in person, because that way we can put plants in front of you, you can touch them, smell them, talk about them with your family.
A lot of people don't realise the importance of coming here. If you're within easy driving distance of here, it's a great idea to come in for your garden design, because we could say you need to have a row of snow pearls out the front. And you say, well, what are they like? And we go over and grab one and stick it in front of you, and you can say, oh, yeah, that's exactly what I want. And so there's nothing like coming in to our nursery. Has so many plants in it, and we can show you so many plants on site. It's amazing, and it's great to come to a nursery where you can do a design and actually see, feel, and touch the plants that we're working with.
Yeah, and so it's a much better way to design your garden that way, because you've actually got the plants in front of you and you say, well, I like this. Oh, no, really, that's not for me.
Yeah.
We can really tailor it better. Now, Schultz has joined us on TikTok and has said, I have a lemon tree that's about 4 or 5 years old. It needs to be pruned. It's gone wild. Is that something that we do, Chris?
No, we don't.
We don't, but we could recommend some people.
Yeah, we could certainly recommend someone who can help you with that. Yeah. It sounds like it needs a good, serious prune.
Yeah, and this is probably about the right time to do it too.
Yeah, now is the time. Yeah.
Okay, Okay, well, I think that's about it until your Q&A on Monday, Chris.
Yeah, and I'd like to thank everyone who helped with the show today. I'm very, very happy with it.
Absolutely.
Really worked out well.
Suman and Tez, they do a great job carting all of those big plants in for us. So thank you very much, and thanks to Jen and Mickey who keep the live stream running smooth for us.
Yeah, and also there's people behind the scenes. There's Sherry doing the website and doing the pages on the website, and my son, all different people behind the scenes. It's quite a big project doing this job. There's probably 100 man hours in it. I spend about a day and a half working with the growers getting the deals together.
And we have to thank the growers for being so generous and helping us to get you the good bargains.
They've been really pitching in the last couple of weeks.
They really have.
Yeah.
All right, well, till Monday,
Okay.
12 o'clock, high noon.
Okay, see you later.